So welcome everybody to today's Empowered Living Product Talk. And so what we're going to focus on today is a combination of products. We're going to specifically be talking about the Deep Blue Polyphenols, but I thought that at the same time that we start talking about the Deep Blue Polyphenols, might be good to touch on some of the other Deep Blue products. So let me just review with you kind of the Deep Blue family of products that doTERRA has. First of all, what started it all was the Deep Blue Essential Oil. And so this is our 5 milliliter Deep Blue Essential Oil. This is a fantastic blend, and we're going to talk a little bit about that blend in a minute. But what makes it really, really helpful to use is putting it into a roller bottle. And so doTERRA also has the 10 milliliter Deep Blue roller bottle. It's the exact same oil. It's not diluted. It's just in a 10 milliliter bottle. We do have a diluted version of the same essential oil, and that's the Deep Blue Touch. And so this roller bottle is diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and some people prefer to dilute the oil, especially when you're putting it on a larger area. And then finally we have the Deep Blue Rub. And so I'm going to touch on each of these products briefly before I kind of go into what I really want to focus on, which is the Deep Blue Polyphenol blend. Because this blend is absolutely fantastic, but I find that not a lot of people actually know what to do with it. So let's look at some of the oils first. So we know that we have our Deep Blue oil. So if you haven't tried this oil, this is what you're going to want to get out when you're looking for support after a workout, for example, when you might be feeling a little achy. If your kids are going through those stages when they're growing, you're probably going to want to use this oil before bedtime. It's kind of a soothing massage. And in that case, you'll want to mix it with fractionated coconut oil to make sure it is diluted. The great thing about this oil is that it's super easy to dilute with coconut oil for a great massage anywhere in your body for soothing relief, right? So it's really, really helpful. Another thing that you would want to use it for is after gardening, after, maybe a long day of walking, a lot of, knee and feet needing support, then you're going to want to take this oil and put it on those areas for that kind of support. The essential oil itself is quite intense, and so you don't need a lot of it. And unlike most of the oils with doTERRA, you're going to find that this oil comes with a child safety cap. The reason we have a child safety cap on this oil is that it's not an oil that we would want to be taking internally, at least not without some pretty heavy supervision. Wintergreen oil tends to be kind of difficult for the liver to process. It's a kind of powerful agent in the body, which is similar to the effect of some blood thinning elements. So we won't want to be taking this one internally, again, without supervision. So this one has a child safety cap because it smells amazing. It smells kind of like candy, but it is not one that we want to take internally. But you don't need to, because we use this for soothing. We want that soothing of muscles and aches, and so we don't really be needing to use that one internally. I like to use Deep Blue with the roller bottle because it's really effective when putting long day of computer work. You rub this on the neck and it feels fantastic. It smells kind of amazing. It's interesting, I've smelled it on some men who are using it for their own soothing benefits, and actually smells a little bit like a fragrance on them. It smells pretty awesome. So it's a great thing to do. You can use this for massage like we talked about, and pre-diluted is a nice way to use it for massage. Now our Deep Blue Rub just takes the same oils, and the oils, by the way, are a combination of osmanthus and wintergreen and helichrysum. What's that one that starts with a C? Camphor. So a bunch of different oils mixed together. And so what we've done is we've taken that oil blend and we've put it into a rub. If you smell this, it will smell very familiar to other soothing rubs that you might have used. And so this is a great way to use our Deep Blue products. But kind of separate from the Deep Blue oil and the Deep Blue products that most people are familiar with is the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex. Now it has the same name, Deep Blue, because it's used for the same kinds of things. We want to use it for support. We want to use it for the, kind of achiness and the joint support that we might need, but we're using this one very differently. This is actually a supplement that we take internally. It doesn't have any of the essential oils that we just talked about. Instead, it's a mixture of a bunch of different things which create polyphenols. So in here, let me just read to you what the ingredients are in this. By the way, the other essential oil inside of the Deep Blue blend is peppermint, so we forgot to mention that. So what you're going to find in here is grapeseed. What does grapeseed do? That's one of the things that's in here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Pomegranate. You're going to find ginger in here. You're going to find an extract from frankincense of boswellia. And so what are these things doing inside of the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex to aid us? Just one second, I just have to clear something off my phone. So what they do is, first of all, we're looking at, again, aching, the soothing of aches and discomforts, and joint support, really, really important, right? Especially some people, we're going to need this every single day. Some people just need it occasionally. If you're going to be using this kind of as a daily thing because you're needing that joint support, that achiness relief, then what you're going to be doing is taking this one time with your Lifelong Vitality Complex in the morning, and then one time with your Lifelong Vitality Complex in the evening. The other way that you could take it is 2 at once, because that will help with immediate discomfort, especially when it's more acute as opposed to more kind of constant and long term. One of the ingredients in here is called resveratrol, and my apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's not a common word that we see or hear spoken. I see it written a lot. But this one actually really supports circulation and cardiovascular health, so that's going to be especially helpful. Resveratrol is quenching of free radicals from the system, which is important. And one of the things is that it emulates powerful changes in your system, which is very similar to what you would be doing when you're trying to reduce calories in your diet. Another of the ingredients is called grapeseed extract. Grapeseed extract really supports your healthy immune system. So this is going to be also one of the things that we're using for joint function. So oftentimes when we're getting our immune system supported by some detoxing elements, we're also getting health for our joints. That's super important. It helps to support the circulatory system by keeping the blood vessels flexible and resilient. And it also protects from oxidative damage. So grapeseed extract is something that you're going to hear talked about in health circles a lot, especially because of its ability to neutralize free radicals in the body. Great detoxing, right? Really, really important. Another ingredient that we mentioned is pomegranate. Now, if you're not familiar, pomegranate is one of those incredible ingredients that we see often come up on the list of powerful antioxidants or superfoods, right? Pomegranate is in our Lifelong Vitality Complex in the Alpha CRS. It's also in our Deep Blue Polyphenols. Well, what does pomegranate do? Again, it is one of the polyphenols, so it's a powerful antioxidant. Again, also helping with supporting our healthy joint function, okay? The proprietary blend that's in here does all of those things that we mentioned, but one of the things that we didn't mention is that it helps with maintaining healthy cholesterol levels. We want to keep those cholesterol levels in the normal range, and that actually the polyphenol complex helps to do that. We're getting healthy circulation, we're getting healthy immune function, and we're getting healthy joint function. Another ingredient that we mentioned is ginger. Now, we all know about ginger's importance in terms of tummy health, right? Helping to keep a calm tummy, which is important because in this polyphenol complex, there is the tummy tamer blend as well. So if you have a bit of a sensitive tummy, you know you're going to be getting support with that through the tummy tamer complex. But ginger is one of those elements in that. Of course, we know it helps with the healthy gastrointestinal tract, but it also is really important for resilient and healthy joints that are flexible. It improves cardiovascular health. It improves your gastrointestinal health. So again, ginger is important. Now, an ingredient that I have people come and talk to me about when I mention antioxidants and the importance of joint health is an ingredient called curcumin. Many of you will know about curcumin if you've been kind of in the health area looking for joint kind of support before. And so, of course, it does help with overworked muscles and joints, and it supports your overall health, especially the joint health and the connective tissues. So curcumin is really, really important. So overall, the polyphenol blend is going to be naturally powerful antioxidants. It's going to be naturally boosting your immune system, your cardiovascular health, your endocrine health, and your nervous system. And so we get some incredible support with Deep Blue Polyphenols. If you haven't been using them and you have kind of ongoing discomfort on a daily basis, you're going to want to include this with your Lifelong Vitality. If you are experiencing acute pain, like I mentioned, you would just take 2 at once, and you can do that 2 or 3 times a day quite safely. So if you haven't tried this, this is a fantastic addition to the doTERRA family that came last year. The best way to get it is when you're ordering your Lifelong Vitality Pack to include it with your Lifelong Vitality Pack. If you get it that way, it's only $20 or $21 here in Canada. So this is the best way to get your Deep Blue Polyphenols, is just by adding it to your Lifelong Vitality. It is meant to support the Lifelong Vitality, and so that's the way you're going to get the most optimum support for discomfort and the most optimum support for joint health. So ask any questions you like in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. But I'm really proud of our Deep Blue family. It's one of the first things that I like to draw people's attention to, because everybody seems to be struggling in the area of needing a little bit of extra help with joint support and achiness. And so Deep Blue Polyphenols, Deep Blue family of products is the way to go. Bye for now.